Hello everyone, I'm the Shadow11, and I'm here with Gab2671 and LimeFeathers84. Announce yourselves, guys.
I already did.
What?
I just did.
Don't screw up your voice. Are you doing that voice changer thing right now?
No, he's doing your mom.
Yes. No, I knew you would come bring that up, you son of a bitch.
I uninstalled it ages ago.
Alright, well, today in this podcast, probably one of my first real podcasts ever, we're going to be talking about the 2015 film coming out next year, Jurassic World, the fourth film in the franchise that I so love, my favorite film franchise of all time, and my favorite film of all time, Jurassic Park. And hopefully all of us here, my two friends here are hopefully Jurassic Park fans, otherwise they're going to get kicked off immediately. Announce?
Well, I have one bit of a problem, though.
What? You better not say.
I only saw the first and third film.
You never saw the second one?
I wanted to see the second one, but I can't find it anywhere.
You can find it on YouTube.
I don't think the second one is not that good.
I mean, the second one isn't my personal favorite, but it is still one of my...
Well, what happened in it anyway?
I can't tell you. You gotta watch it yourself.
There is a T-Rex that gets loose in Chicago, that's about it.
No, it was San Diego, you idiot.
Or whatever the friggage it was.
You don't even know.
Did he?
It's been ages since I've seen it, but I remember it not being that good.
I guess
it's not as good as the first one.
Oh yeah, the first one. Oh yeah, I was watching that with my family, and holy shit, my mom and my sister got really scared, and they ran up. They ran off.
They just ran off from the movie?
Well, because of the velociraptors and stuff.
Yeah, the velociraptors are the best antagonists.
Like,
no, I was like, even like, okay, even when I like watched like other movie villains, like I just realized like who's my favorite movie villain? And I was like, well, it's probably the Joker, but then it's also like what's my favorite movie, and then who is the villain in my favorite movie? Oh, the Raptors were my favorite villains, especially the big one, that the clever girl.
Megatron feels left out now.
I know, I'm sorry. I apologize to you, Frank Welker.
You insult Frank Welker.
I insulted Frank Welker. I'm sorry. But,
you better hide when he gets you.
What?
You better hide when he gets you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide for sure, yeah. So pretty much what we're gonna talk about today is what our general thoughts are, what we've heard about the movie, and, our ideas, what we want, or what the movie should become in our overall view. So let's just go down the list about information that's currently been heard. One of the things that big news has been going around is that they're filming in Hawaii.
That's a unique
They're
location.
actually going back to the first island. So in terms of story, that's really interesting because we haven't seen the first island for the last two films.
Well, yeah, this is going back to basics, I guess.
Well, I mean,
also, I'm wondering if we're gonna get dinosaurs other than T-Rex, because like it's getting really overrated.
Oh no, it's not. You want to stick to.
That's why people hate the third one so much, because the T-Rex got killed too easily by a Spinosaurus.
Well, you got a ton of new dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic Park 2.
I actually like the third one. I actually think it's probably my. It might even be my favorite, the third one.
I like of course, the first one and the third one. Then my second one's my favorite. It's kind of like, it's kind of weird because that's the same thing for Indiana Jones. Like, I like the first one the best, I like the third one, and then I like the second one, and then the fourth.
And there's the fourth one.
Yeah.
Which I also liked.
I like the fourth Indiana Jones too. I don't understand the hate. I'm probably gonna get something. Someone's gonna say you're an idiot. You don't know what your movies. Blah blah blah.
And then I shall get someone who holds an executive position with that guy's internet, and I'll have him dig up his browsing, and I'll find some really interesting stuff.
What?
Dig up his browsing. I've never heard. That's a great term.
Pick up, yeah. So
you know what I mean, right?
What?
Never mind.
Continue.
So they're filming in. They're going to go back to Isla Nublar, the island from the first film. And if you guys have you guys ever read the novel?
I've never read the novels.
Have you?
I'm sorry, I'm guilty too.
I know they're done by it's called Michael Crichton, the author. But that's about it.
Well, I mean, Jurassic Park, the film, is probably one of the few movies that I can name that's actually better than the book. Because I've read the novel 3 times.
And how was it?
Oh yeah, it's an amazing book. I mean, a lot of scenes that weren't used in the first movie were actually used in the 3rd film. So people can't say that the 3rd is not based on the book, because it actually is.
In what?
It's actually because the Pteranodon scene was in the first novel.
Oh, that's cool.
And the boat scene was also from the first novel, which were both featured in.
Well, but let me guess, it was attacked by a T-Rex instead.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was T-Rex and the Pteranodons were there. So it was still really, it was really interesting scenes, and I'm glad they included that in the 3rd film. So, in terms of what do you guys want to see in the 4th Jurassic Park film?
I like to see something as giant as a Giganotosaurus.
Gab?
I would rather be surprised because, like, again, bring back some of the classic dinosaurs. Like, I do want to see Velociraptors again. I want to see T-Rex again, but like maybe bring some more creative dinosaurs because, like, I've got tons of dinosaur books and I've always wanted to see dinosaurs like Baryonyx, Ferrocenosaurus, all kinds of weird dinosaurs like that.
Yeah. And
Ferrocenosaurus, aka the one with the big claws.
Yeah, the giant claw. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great dinosaur.
That's a planet.
Baryonyx is like a weird fish-eating dinosaur. It's a bit like how do I describe it? Have you ever seen Ice Age 3?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Well, Rudy, the white one, so that's a Baryonyx.
Oh yes, yeah.
Except no one near as big.
Yeah,
yeah.
Really huge and stuff.
Yeah, they really beefed it up in the movie, but it's not actually that big.
The crew has like teased a new dinosaur that's going to get introduced in the next film. If they said it's going to be really terrifying, that like you better keep your lights on after you see it.
Well, I think it should be like.
I mean,
wasn't it the dinosaur that you just mentioned?
Which one?
Giganotosaurus.
Yeah, but I don't think that's just like I don't think that's a dinosaur that's entirely. I don't think that's a dinosaur that's
meat-eating dinosaur.
It's not entirely terrifying though. That's not. I mean, the Spinosaur and was pretty terrifying the first time I saw it, especially when its introduction where it ran out in front of the plane and snatched the guy up and blood everywhere.
And
it broke the plane apart.
Yeah, like that thing's terrifying. People can say the Spinosaurus sucks, but if you actually watch the movie as much as I have, that thing is a monster. That is a beast. It ripped apart a plane. It chased them across the island.
Yeah,
I also have its roars too. I have the Spinosaurus roar.
Yeah, me too.
That's a pretty scary.
It is a very. I think one of the things I realized I have to give the sound editors of all the Jurassic Park films like credit because I love those guys. That's like. I would love to do that as a career, or maybe even work for those guys, because making those sound effects is incredible.
I wonder how they do it.
They use like all sorts of animal sounds, and then they combine them, mix them together, and then they get these incredibly sound effects that you would never ever hear on the planet.
Well, I know that, for example, again in Peter Jackson's King Kong, I know that King Kong's roars is a variety of giant, loud cat roars, like lions and tigers, for example.
But like the T-Rex roar is like awesome and epic, and it's But the Spinosaur roar is
it's an iconic roar.
It's iconic, yeah. But the Spinosaur roar is actually terrifying.
Yeah, that's more for the scares. And actually, again, I'm going to try and prove a point. In many ways, I actually think the Spinosaurus is more threatening towards the humans because it targets animals much smaller than itself. T-Rex is supposed to attack animals that are almost as big as itself.
Yeah.
Not to mention, T-Rex's teeth can crush bone and armor.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Armor? Are dinosaurs wearing armor?
No, I mean like body armor.
Dinosaurs have really tough scales and they can penetrate armor. Like for example, a T-Rex, you could crush a car easily.
Yeah.
Spinosaur can't do that.
Well, we don't know because we have never seen an actual Spinosaur do any of those things because we don't live.
They can still do tests though. They can still, judge by the size of the bones and the weight and how it's connected. They can judge about the.
I even saw a video on YouTube where there's a Spinosaurus and some other huge carnivorous dinosaur. They were fighting, and Spinosaurus basically used its huge claws to rip at it and stuff.
So let's go back to the Jurassic World. So besides the dinosaurs that you guys want to see, what do you want to see in terms of story? Because
well, I kind of, as I said before, it sort of goes back to what I said. I sort of want to be surprised. I don't want them ripping off the other films. Like, you know, again, it's probably going to be an enclosure, but bigger and more diverse than ever.
Well, I mean, one of the things I've been looking up at a lot is the cast. They've been expanding the cast more than recently, and Chris Pratt is the main character.
I don't know who the hell that is.
He's a comedic actor from a lot of shows, and he's becoming a really big star now. Especially, he was in the Lego movie.
Well, I haven't seen that yet, so I need to
well, then we can't talk about it then. But he was great in that movie, and I've seen him in a lot of other stuff. But it's hard to take him seriously. It would be hard to take him seriously, though. That's the problem. So I hope he can do a serious role like this, because I don't want Jurassic World to be turned into a comedy. At all.
I mean,
I want it to be a serious film.
I have seen comedians do really serious roles.
Yeah, all the time.
You need to watch films like you need to watch films like Creepshow and those old '80s films, because you know, you can sometimes see comedians, but you see them in roles that you would never associate with them, and they can do it quite well.
Yeah, and one of the new cast members that I think it was last week, is Vincent. I don't know I can't pronounce his last name, but the guy who's Edgar the Bug from Men in Black, he's been cast as the villain in Jurassic World.
So we have a human villain, okay.
Yeah, well, he's probably going to be the same equivalent to Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park. You know, he's the one that shut down the park and escaped with the embryos. He's probably going to be in that realm. Probably not like an actual human.
I just hope he's not going to have the same plan.
Obviously, the dinosaurs are going to be the main bad guys.
Well, bad guys. They're still animals. They're not.
Yeah.
They're just
well, the raptors are probably the only real bad guys of the film, because they kill to kill. They actually kill you to kill you. They don't kill to eat. They kill to you. Jurassic Park demonstrated that. They just went out to kill you because they wanted to.
Yeah, I've seen them jumping around and stuff like that. Especially when they opened the door in the first film.
Yeah, exactly. See, why would they go out of their way to just kill a bunch of kids? To hunt a bunch of kids? No, they would go out to kill those kids. Because they killed Robert Muldoon, you know, the clever girl scene. They killed him to kill him. Gab.
I know.
Accept the facts.
Off screen. How do you know they didn't eat them off screen?
They did eat him off screen.
Well, there you go. They were just hungry then.
No, it's not about hungry. It's if you got to actually watch the film, because even in the film he states that the raptors kill when they're not hungry.
That's weird.
No, it's not weird. It's just
kind of doesn't really make a lot of sense unless it's an attempt to get rid of predator competition or something. I don't know.
No, it's classic villain tendencies. You want to kill anyone that's in your way.
Yeah, well, I don't.
And he had the gun. He was the only one that really could stood in their way, and the raptors killed him off, so that they could kill the other people. So that's what Jurassic World. That's what Jurassic World really needs, is a primary antagonist besides a human. It needs like a monster. It needs a dinosaur that kills, just to kill.
In the first one, you could say the raptors are the villain. The second one's probably the T-Rex, I guess. And the third one's the Spinosaurus. So I wonder which one's going to be in the third one.
Well, it's probably the new dinosaur they've been talking about. But I hope the raptors remain the main bad guys.
Or maybe there's a few raptors that got mutated. I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking out loud.
That's actually mutated raptors would be really scary.
I wonder how big and ugly it would be.
Well, actually, the funny thing is we need to stop calling them velociraptors, because they're not velociraptors. Velociraptors are tiny in real life. They're only like a...
I remember... But
there are raptors that big. They're called Utah raptors. Size. They're
Well, you gotta take liberties with changing things. But you want to know the ironic part? I've known this for a long time, but as soon as they released the movie, they found Utah raptors. They discovered them. So it's like they discovered we made it, and then they said we made the dinosaur. They discovered it. So that's really funny. It's probably my favorite story about Jurassic Park. But and speaking of villains, a human villain that I feel has been really absent from all of the films is InGen's rival corporation. And they're called you guys probably, since you guys have never read the book, it's called, the InGen has been battling against another genetics company called Biosyn.
Biosyn, what?
It's a rival corporation. They steal other corporations' ideas and then use it for their own to make themselves
That's
rich.
why he was trying to steal the embryos.
Yeah, Biosyn was the one that hired Nedry to steal the embryos off the island so they can make money, and then, of course, probably frame InGen for everything. So they're the ones responsible for everything that happened in Jurassic Park.
For some reason, it reminds me of Aliens.
Yeah, exactly. It's very much like Aliens.
You have the arse that's trying to keep the aliens alive. To make money out of it.
So that's exactly what they're.
I can't stand villains that do horrible things just for money. I really can't stand it.
See, that's always the thing. That's always the driving force of a lot of villains. Money.
But to me, I think I'm more of a fan of threatening villains. Ones that actually want to kill you.
Kill you for a reason. Like
because I can't remember saying this, but again, Loki, for example, from the Avengers, he sort of he wants to take over the world, but you can understand why.
Yeah.
He's a sympathetic villain, but at the same time he's very threatening. I'd rather see that than a villain who's doing all this thing. He's gonna get money anyway, and yet he wants more, and just give me a break.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Jurassic World won't just do that for money. Maybe they'll incorporate something else. But one of the things that I discovered that made me very angry, I don't know why, but the villain of the movie, the human villain, works for another corporation that was just made up for the movie. It's called Patel Corporation.
What?
Yeah, it's a corporation that didn't appear in the books at all. I'm pretty sure they just made it up for the movie. And it really makes me angry because you don't need a rival or an enemy corporation when you have one from the books that ties it to the original film.
Yeah.
So what's the point? You can have.
So what is this, a reboot, or is it a
I'm starting to think it's a reboot now because another thing that's making me angry about casting is they haven't had a single one of the original cast members.
So no Sam Neill, no Jeff Goldblum, no Rich Attenborough, none of the others.
Yeah, it's very disappointing.
At least we don't have to stand Jeff Goldblum's incredibly annoying performance.
He was awesome though.
Well, yeah, but at the timing,
he's
just been Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, but I hope. I think they have like a month before they start shooting the film, so I hope they get at least one of the actors from the original film to tie it to the Jurassic Park, because
you should make sure it's not me. Jeff Goldblum.
Are you? That's actually a pretty good Jeff Goldblum impression.
You just need to put a lot of R's in your sentence. That's it.
Yes.
In there.
Life finds a way.
It sounds like you're singing a really feminine song.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking. So, but crap! I lost my train of thought. The film's going to be released in 2015. And they said that it's not a reboot, but it takes place 22 years after Jurassic Park.
Where have I heard that before? Star Wars Episode 7.
But the Jurassic Park was released in 1993, so 22 years. It's coming out in 2015, so it makes sense. Like the technology.
This is 31 years.
What?
Episode 7 is 31 years.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Summer was releasing. Was the celebration of 30 years of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, well, at least like J.J. Abrams knows what he's doing because he's getting the original cast back from Episode 6. Why is it so hard to get the original cast back for this movie?
Maybe it's due to the time length, or
no, that has nothing.
That is a really weird exam. Maybe they just don't want to be part of it. Maybe.
No, they want to be a part of it. They just haven't asked them. That's the thing. Don't you think... I'm getting more and more disinclined to not go see it now because they haven't confirmed any of the original actors. I want to see someone from the original films because it feels too much like a reboot.
Why did I get the weird idea? It might be one of the kids from the first movie.
Yeah, just get... A lot of those kids, Tim and Lex, the actor and actress, they're like really old now. I mean, the guy who did Tim, I think his name is Joseph Mazzallo. He's acting still, so why not just get him back?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that I would really like to, because I actually wrote a story. Like, I don't know why I did it, but I think it was like 2 years. 2 years ago. I wrote my own Jurassic Park 4 like story synopsis, and maybe someday I'll do a whole video on it. But right now, it's just like Tim is like maybe I'll just save it for another time because I don't want to let anyone steal my ideas. But I had such a great story, and it involved Tim going back to the island with Hammond, and then they were ambushed by Biosyn. And it was so great because it has all the original cast returning, and you have the main villains, including
Jeff Goldblum. Yes, yeah.
Well, in my little story thing, he cameos, yes. And he would. What? You gotta start every word. What? Dinosaurs. Crap. Stop blowing into your mic, you idiot.
Okay.
Shoot him!
Shoot him! Goat! Don't eat the goat!
Why would they eat the two-horned midget thing?
What?
Why did it have to be the two-horned midget thing? It's midget around with the cow.
No, you don't understand. Okay, let me explain it. We had a problem with this earlier. The T-Rex ate the goat. The raptors ate the cow.
I was used to think it was the opposite.
No. Yeah, I mean, I can understand, but they won't. I guess you couldn't show a cow getting eaten by a T-Rex. Like, there'd be too much blood and gore everywhere. Because they only showed the goat's leg when it fell on the car.
My leg.
So I hope one of the things I really hope is that I hope they have that same suspense. Like, hey, we're gonna have the build up of the dinosaur. Like, there it is.
But I've realised a really major problem that could almost ruin it for me. It's probably just going to be CGI.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
A real pain in the arse.
Oh yeah, thanks, Gab. I almost forgot about that.
Wait, what?
Well, one of the things that
in the original they managed to perfectly mix practical effects with CGI.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's just going to be CGI.
Yeah. They interviewed Phil Tippett because he's going to be the dinosaur supervisor of the film. Pretty much the guy that's going to do he did like a stop motion kind of technique for making the dinosaurs move real in Jurassic Park. So I'm pretty sure, I hope, he said that...
What other films has he worked on?
He's done a lot of stuff, but I can't quite remember what it is.
I've not heard his name before, but not in Jurassic Park.
Phil Tippett, he's done a lot of stop motion work.
Well, do you think he's worked with Stan Winston odd?
Yeah, he has, I think.
So maybe he might have worked on Terminator.
I believe so. But he said himself that they're going for more CGI than practical effects.
Yeah,
but he didn't say that they're going purely for CGI. So maybe that's a sign that they are doing practical effects. So I hope they do more practical, because the director, who's a newbie kind of, Colin Trevorrow, he's the director of Jurassic World. I never even heard of his name until they announced him for directing the movie.
Why?
Well, he did like one movie that was apparently really good, and now I have to watch it because I'm not sure what it was, but they hired him for the job, so now he's directing one of the biggest film franchises of all time, and I hope he doesn't.
A lot of debut directors for films coming out this year and next year.
Yeah, there are. Like the guy who,
for example, for the sake of example, Maleficent. That's a new director. He's the guy who worked on. He started in the visual department in special effects. He did the visuals in Avatar and Alice in Wonderland, and now he's in the directing chair in Maleficent.
Oh,
that'd be really cool.
See, that's a lot. That's a lot of direct. From directors always start out from somewhere. Like like a lot of editors go on to be directors. The guy who shot Dark Knight, who shot the Dark Knight trilogy, is now directing his first movie. I think it's coming out next year.
AKA the Swear to Me.
Yeah, the Swear to Me director. But
Where are they?
that's actually funny because the guy who that's in terms of cinematography, they actually announced the director of photography for Jurassic World, and it's gonna be the guy who shot Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, that's not bad.
I liked his way of shooting things, and so I'm glad they got a good cinematographer. I mean, now they just need to get the original editor, Michael Kahn.
Speaking of editing, made me think of the movie I watched a few weeks back, the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Like how I had this one friend who thought it was completely stop motion with some added oomph, aka the CG, but then it was just completely computer graphics.
It's CGI, but it's animated in a really clever way.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. See, they need CGI in the movie that really just makes you believe, like, hey, that has to be real. It's like Hobbit surprised me so much because a character that I thought was CGI was actually practical.
And it was that.
I believe it was like one of the orcs. It was.
Well, they said it wasn't Shroud. He was complete CGI.
No. One of the orcs in Hobbit 2, I thought was CGI. He was actually practical.
It wouldn't happen to be the one that was interrogated.
It was that one, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
But that one, see, they just need CGI that really looks good, and ILM is returning to do the visual effects. They're the ones that have done it for all 3 movies.
No, that's good.
So I'm glad they have the same guys who did the visual effects. So at least the dinosaurs will look the same CGI-wise, except look better.
And because that group, they also did the effects in Pirates of the Caribbean and the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
At least it'll look good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not worried about visual effects at all. I'm just worried about practical effects. They need real dinosaurs.
Story and characters.
I keep going to the Stan Winston School Effects page, asking them, have you guys made the dinosaurs for Jurassic World yet? And they haven't responded yet. It's making me angry because I want them to.
Maybe they don't want to spoil anything yet.
Well, it doesn't matter about spoiling. It's just a matter of, have you made the dinosaurs for the movie? Just tell us yes, so then we know there are going to be practical effects in the film, so I can be happy and go see it. Because the moment I find out there are no real dinosaurs is the moment I'm not going to buy a ticket. I mean, I'm not even kidding, because if I don't see a real dinosaur, I'm not going to go see it.
And the moment I found out Santa wasn't real, that's when I stopped believing in Christmas.
Don't say that to people, because people who still believe...
Sorry, kiddies.
People still believe in Santa, people. And believe in the Santa dinosaur that will eat you.
I believe in Santa Christ.
I believe in Santa Batman.
Terror Claus.
Santa Batman.
Santa Batman. That's a really scary idea.
That would be, yeah.
Yeah, because like I was talking with Kylie the other day, and like,
well,
I was like, well, you can't be both Santa Claus and Batman at the same time. And he was like, ho ho ho, swear to me, and he like punched the kids and dropped them off the cliff of the balcony.
Okay. We can talk about this in another video, but so overall we have like 5 minutes left to go. So what are your overall views, guys? What do you want to see? What will make you happy? Really quick.
Well, as long as they don't use too much CGI, as long as the characters are good and the story is good and they surprise me, and I'm not going to just see a film that's just rehashing the other films, that's just ripping them off, I'm happy. I'm actually all for a new cast, as long as they're good.
What about you, Lime?
Well, same with Gab, though. I kind of want to see the new dinosaurs and stuff.
Oh, I forgot one more thing. John Williams better do the music.
Yeah, John Williams better return.
He's returning for Star Wars Episode 7.
If not him, Don Davis needs to return.
His music is beast.
Yeah. So, well, that's the end of this podcast, everyone. Thanks for watching this Jurassic World podcast. This will probably be number 1. So thanks for watching, and this is the Shadowed One.
Gab2671.
LimeFeathers84.
Thanks for watching, and see you later. Cue Jurassic Park theme music.